Well, despite the recent rain, area lakes remain near record lows, so some communities are creating backup plans to make sure they don't run out of water. Tonight, city councils from Leander, Cedar Park, and Round Rock are all meeting together. And as David Yeomans shows us, their votes tonight will have a big impact on the future of their water supply.
As the lake continues to lower, we'll have to pull the trigger ahead of time and cease operations here.
Wayne Watts is the city engineer for Leander, and lately he's been thinking a lot about the future.
Well, the city of Leander and our sister city, Cedar Park, we get our water supply from Lake Travis exclusively.
With Lake Travis near historic lows, the Brushy Creek intake, a massive pipe that supplies the city of Leander with half of its drinking water, is in trouble. The Brushy Creek intake is located on the Sandy Creek arm of Lake Travis and can pump a few feet deeper than the current lake elevation. Now, if the lake were to fall below 623 feet, another barge already in place can pump almost 10 feet deeper. But what if the lake falls even lower?
We actually have a contingency plan to take us out to main channel should it go below 590.
That contingency plan will be voted on tonight with a price tag of $165 million.
I think it's important to spend the money. You always think that drinking water is there and it's always going to be there, but we kind of have to think about it.
Something Wayne is all too familiar with.
We hope the lake fills up tomorrow, but we have to make provisions if it doesn't.
In Leander, David Yeomans, KXAN News.
Well, that city council meeting is tonight, and it is open to the public. It's at 7 o'clock at the Cedar Park Recreation Center. Tomorrow night at 6, KXAN takes an in-depth look at the state's water problems and a funding source that could help fix them.
That is, if you say yes at the polls this coming November. Here's a look at one Texas town that could use some big help.
EPA says if you drink 2 liters of the water that's around here for 70 years, you might, emphasize might, get bone cancer.
The town of Eden in Concho County has radium in their water. All across Texas, communities are experiencing their own problems, but cannot afford the crucial projects they need. And the state says if we don't do something now, Texas will be in major trouble in 50 years. We'll have more tonight on KXAN News at 6. And we've had a lot of people ask us how the rain over the past several days has affected our lake levels.
Jim's here tonight to tell us, Jim.
Well, and you know, one of our viewers emailed us and said that they noticed that while monitoring the lake levels online, that the lake kind of spiked up and then went back down. They were worried that the LCRA was releasing water downstream to the rice farmers. We know that's not the case. We checked with the LCRA anyway for you. The LCRA says, yes, of course, they're releasing water, but it's just part of their normal pattern. Most common reason they do that is to release water downstream to supply water to cities like Austin. They also do it to provide water for electricity, both at the dams and for cooling intake for the power plants. The LCRA is required to make some releases for environmental reasons, water, of course, for endangered species downstream. And they have some contracts that require releases for farmers downstream, but most of those have already been suspended because of this ongoing drought. Now, the overall storage of Lake Travis and Lake Buchanan has come up about 12,000 acre-feet since Sunday. What does that mean when you stand out there and you watch the lake rise? Well, not much. About 7 inches at Lake Buchanan is what the lake is up right now, and Lake Travis is about 8 inches, and it's just about leveled off. In fact, last night we noticed the lakes were already coming back down.